Alright, today I'll just be going over and showing my Goblin deck. First, you gotta have some Goblin tokens for a Goblin deck. Just a bunch of 1/1 tokens. Alright, and this is a 20 card land deck, so there's 20 lands. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 just basic mountains. So here's some of the non-basics. I don't have that many. I do have a Teetering Peaks. This card is alright. I almost want to just swap it out for a regular mountain, because sometimes I just don't want it to come in tapped, but it's alright. And it has when Teetering Peaks enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And it adds a red now to color as cheerful. So it just gives the creature a little bit of strength. And then I do have 4 Goblin Burrows. I actually quite like these. It's just a non-basic land. It has tap, add 1 to your mana pool. And it has colorless and red. Tap, target goblin gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Very cool pool for goblin decks. So I have 4 of those. And the last non-basic I have is a Get Through Encampment. It is a land. When Get Through Encampment comes into play tapped, it has tap, add 1 red mana to your mana pool, so not colorless, which is nice. And 1 in a red, Get Through Encampment becomes a 2/1 red creature with first strike until end of turn. So very cool, gotta love first strike, and this creature still counts as a land. So if you have nothing on the field, you can at least block or attack with this if you need to. Alright, and I guess I'm on to the enchantment spells, instant sorceries, and whatnot. The first one I got is a Get Through Warcry, 2 in a red enchantment, and it just has red, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So I can just slap this out and keep paying red and make a bunch of goblins stronger. Not too bad. The next one I have is a 2 in a red, War Cadence enchantment. It has X in a red. Creatures can't block this turn unless their controller plays X for each creature blocking. So if you look over and you have this out and they don't have a lot of mana left, just pay more than they have and then you can pretty much go right through them, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Or at least make them tap mana to attack. Or block. Very cool. He's banging on some drums. I have 2 Fishers, just a kill card. 3 and 2 red, bury target creature. Bury target land or creature. And it's just a kill card. So I have 2 of those. I have 2 Krenko's Command, 1 in red sorcery, and all it does is put 2 1/1 goblin creatures tokens on the battlefield. That's where the tokens come in. Very cool. So I have 2 of those. I have 1 Hordling Outburst, which is cool. 1 and 2 red sorcery, put 3 1/1 red goblin tokens on the battlefield. So not just 2, but 3. Get a big presence going. There we go. And the next card I got is I actually like this. Quest for Goblin Lord. It is 1 red enchantment. Whenever a goblin enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on Quest for the Goblin Lord. As long as Quest for the Goblin Lord has 5 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +2/+0. So in a goblin deck, this works perfect. All you have to do is play at least 5 goblin spells, and once it gets that, all your goblins get +2 attack. Very nice. It's awesome to get this firsthand. And I just have 1 of those. The next one I have is called Mob Rule, 4 and 2 red, a sorcery, and it has choose 1. Gain control of all creatures with power 4 or greater until end of turn, and tap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. Or gain control of all creatures with power 3 or less until end of turn, and tap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. This is really not a bad card. I've used it to finish a game quite a few times. Like sometimes the board will be so stacked on their side, and then I'll pull this and be so lucky and just turn it around and win. Fun card. I like the mechanic of that. I just have 1 Goblin Caves. I really like this. It's a 1 and 2 red. Enchant land, so you must enchant a land. If target land is a basic mountain, so you really can only want to play this on a mountain, not a non-basic, it gives all goblins +2 defense, +0/+2. Very cool. The next card I have is Goblin Shrine. It is like this one, but it's a little bit different. It is 1 and 2 red, enchant land. So basically you're going to enchant a mountain again. If target land is a basic mountain, all goblins get +1/+0. Goblin Shrine deals 1 damage to all goblins if it leaves play. That's the only part that's scary. If this card gets exiled or my land gets destroyed, all my goblins take 1, and some of my goblins only have 1 defense. So it's kind of scary to play this sometimes, but I still like it. And then the last ones I have It's just 4 lightning bolts. Can't go wrong with that. Love this card. Just 1 red, deal 3 damage to 1 target. Can't be simpler than that. Boom. Alright, now onto the creatures. I have 2 Raging Goblins. Very cool art. I'm not sure which one I like better. I think this one. It is just a 1-drop for a red. I mean a 1 cost. It is a summon goblin. Raging Goblin is unaffected by summon sickness. It's a 1/1. So it has haste. So it can attack right away. It's real fun to get these first hand. You can just do it. Pretty much just put it in tap. That's what I like to do. And attack with it. Very cool. So that's the first goblin I have. The next 2 I have 2 goblin pile drivers. These are pretty nice. It's 1 and a red, which is a pretty cheap cost. Goblin warrior, protection from blue. This creature can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything blue. So very cool. If you're facing a blue deck. And the kicker is, I mean, it's not actually the kicker, but I like the bottom effect. Whenever a goblin pile driver attacks, it gets +2/+0 end of turn for each other attacking goblin. So say if you have a bunch of tokens or something, I don't know, let's just say I have 3 tokens out and I'm also attacking with him. He gets +2/+2/+2, so he get +6 attack, and he become a 7/2. Wow, very cool. So he's a pretty fun card to play, especially you got a lot of goblins out. Put a bunch of pressure on him. Got 2 of those. Love the art. Very cool. The next card I got is a Spike Shot Goblin. It is a 2 and a red Goblin Shaman, a 1/2 creature, and it has a red and tap. Spike Shot Goblin deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So if I play a card like where in the world is it? So like if say I have like this out or something, I can just boost him up, pay 1 and tap him, and do dead damage to a creature or player. So it's very cool. I really like this card. Go ahead and slide this back in. Yeah, so just get some damage through. Very cool. The next card I have is a Goblin Taskmaster. This one is pretty much the same as that enchantment also. It is a 1 red, and it has 1 in a red. Target goblin gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So I could even boost this card with this one. Very cool. And it has a morph cost of, you can play this down for 2/2 for 3, and if you flip it up, its morph is just 1. So if you want, you can put it down for 2/2. Very cool. The next card I got, I have one, yeah, just one of these. Rust Taser Butcher. Got some crazy horns going on. It is a 1 and a red Goblin Warrior with First Strike and Wither. Wither is very cool, and First Strike I also love. Wither is, this deals damage to creatures in form of -1/-1 counters. Very cool. And it's a 1/2. Very cool. Got one of those. The next one I have is a Goblin Bushwhacker. It is a 1 red creature Goblin Warrior, and as a kicker, the kicker is just a red, just 1 red, and if you pay the kicker, when Goblin Bushwhacker enters the battlefield, if it was kicked with the 1 red, creatures you can control get +1 and gain haste until end of turn. Very cool. So your creatures get a little bit stronger, and if you play more than 1 creature, they all got haste that turn. Very fun. I just have one of those. This is a funny card, and I like it. It is a great blocker, and I just like the art of it. It's just a cute little snowman. It's a Goblin Snowman, 3 in a red. It's a summon goblin. It's a 1/1 creature, but it's very good at blocking. When blocking, Goblin Snowman neither deals nor receives damage in combat, so he can pretty much block anything. Or like even Death Touch creatures, if it doesn't deal damage, it won't die. And it has tap. Snowman deals 1 damage to target creature it blocks. So yeah, you can deal damage to it if you want. But very cool, Goblin Snowman. Thought that was funny. And of course, it is from Ice Age. I have 1 Reckless one. It is 3 in a red creature, Goblin Avatar. It has haste. Its power is XX or star. Reckless one's power and toughness is equal to the number of goblins in play. So even if your opponent has goblins out, this counts them up. So you can have like 4 goblins out. This would be a 5/5 because he also counts as a goblin. And yeah, very cool. I have 1 Gem Palm Incinerator, 2 and a red creature goblin. And really this card, it is a 2/1 creature, but I really only have it for its cycling ability, and its cycling is 1 and a red. Discard this card from your hand and draw a card. When you cycle Gem Palm Incinerator, you may have it deal X damage to target creature, where X is the number of goblins in play. Very cool. So if you have a bunch of goblins out, you have this in your hand, cycle it, do some damage to a creature. Very cool. Yeah, lovely art. I have the next card is a Goblin Dynamo. 5 and 2 red. Creature Goblin Mutant, a 4/4. It has tap. Goblin Dynamo deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So you can tap to just do damage to a creature player. And it has X red, tap, sacrifice Goblin Dynamo. Goblin Dynamo does X damage to target creature player. So if you want to, you can kind of play it as a blaze too. But you have to sacrifice. It could be a game finisher. Very cool. Or you could just whittle them down turn after turn, doing 1 damage to them. Very cool. The next card I have is Warbreak Trumpeter. Doesn't look like any trumpet I've seen. It is a 1 red creature goblin. I really like his morph ability. He's a 1/1 creature. You may play this face down for 2/2 creature for 3. Turn it face up for its morph cost. And this card would be, you can either get it early on in the game, just put it out, or if it's really good later in the game. And it has XX red. It says when Warbreaker Trumpeter is turned face up, put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens into play. So if you played like 5 mana on each slot, you'd turn it up with 5 tokens on the field too. Very cool card. Love the mechanic. I actually like this card. Scuzzleback Martyrers. Yep, don't want to run into them. It is 4 and a red and a green. You can either pay with a red and a green. So I have a red. It is a creature Goblin Warrior, 5/2 with Trample, which is nice, and it also has Persist. It is when this creature is put into a graveyard from play. If it has no -1/-1 counters on it, return it to play under its owner's control with a -1/-1 counter. So have this out in the field. It dies. Graveyard right back out as a 4/1. But you can only do that once. Well, I guess if you've had a card to remove a -1/-1 counter, you could like keep playing him. Yeah, very interesting. But I like that. Kill him once and he'll come right back out. Cool. The next card I have is a Tattermunge Duo. Right in the bigger guy. 2 in a red or a green, and I just play red, so it's 2 in a red for me. Goblin Warrior Shaman, and it is a 2/3 creature. Whenever you play a red spell, Tattermunge Duo gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And since this is my Goblin deck and a bunch of my cards are small mana costs, I'll be playing lots of red cards, maybe multiple on each turn, so he can get pretty strong. And it also, if you put him in a green deck, whenever you play a green spell, Tattermage Duo gains 4 swag and end of turn, but that won't apply to me. I just really do it for his +1/+1 ability if I play something. So like if I play 2 lightning bolts after playing him, he'd become a 4/5. Very cool. And then the next creature I have is a Boros Recruiter. It is another one of those like multi. It's either a red or white. I pay with the red. Goblin Soldier. And it just has first strike and it's a 1/1. Very cool 1-drop goblin. 1 drop with first strike. Standing in line with the warriors. The next card I have is a Goblin Chariot. 2 in a red. Creature goblin. It has haste. This creature may attack and tap the turn it comes under your control. It's a 2/2. It's also just a 2/2 with haste. Very cool. Very cool art. Looks like a boar. The next goblin I have is a Goblin War Diver. It is just 2 red. Goblin Warrior. Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it's a 2/2. So if you attack with a bunch of creatures, say like, I don't know, 2 tokens, the tokens will get +1/+1, so they'd be attacking for 2, but it doesn't apply to him because it says other creatures. So just another way to get some extra damage out. Very fun card. Like it. Cool. The next card I have, this might be my only flyer in here. Hobgoblin Dragon. Looks like a crazy dragonfly. 2 in a red or white, and I pay with red. It's a Goblin Knight. It has flying and first strike, and it's just a 1/2. Very cool. So it's got some aerial, and yeah, very nice. Next card I have is a Goblin Lookout. A 1 in a red, creature goblin. It's a 1/2, and it has tap, sacrifice a goblin. All goblins get +2/+0 until end of turn. So if you're in a tight pinch, or you want to finish the game, or you want to kill a creature that's attacking, sacrifice a goblin. All your creatures get +2 until end of turn. Very cool. Nice to have that option. Next card I have is the Arms Dealer, is a 2 and a red, creature Goblin Rogue. 1 in a red, sacrifice a Goblin. Arms Dealer does 4 damage to target creature or player, and it's a 1/1. There's been so many times where this has come in useful. I'll be like playing out tokens, playing some cards that put out 2 tokens or 3 tokens, sacrifice a token that's a Goblin, pay the cost, and it'll just do 4 damage to a creature and kill it usually. Very cool, like this card. I have 2 Goblin Arsonists. This is one of my favorite Goblin cards. I don't know why, it just is. Maybe I should put in another, I'm not sure. It is a 1 red cost, Goblin Shaman, wearing a crazy like Zendikar themed hat, I guess. It is a 1/1 creature, and when Goblin Arsonist dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. So if you're blocking a 2/2 or you're attacking a 2/2, this creature would die, then you can do the remaining damage to kill the 2/2 or kill a 1/1 or do damage to the creature. So these are really cool. I have 2 of these. And the last cards I have are 2 Goblin Matrone. Very interesting, nasty looking lady. It is a 2 and a red, creature Goblin. It's 1/1, but the ability is really where it counts. When Goblin Matrone comes into play, search your library for a Goblin card. If you do, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And yeah, so put this out, you get to search your library for any Goblin card, and yeah, it can be a very great advantage. Love this card. Alright guys, that was a little overview of my Goblin deck. I hope you enjoyed. Any suggestions about how to make mine better? Love to hear about it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.